God the Son, Jesus Christ. Okay, finish up verse 18.
That was it on.
That was it on 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4, and we're going to read verse 7. And we're going to read on down. I want you to read on down to verse 12. Okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 7. Okay? Because the Lord said it is not good for man to be alone, so I'm going to create him a helpmeet. Read on.
Then I returned, and I saw vanity under the sun.
Okay? Tell everybody where you at.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 7.
Read.
Then I returned, and I saw vanity under the sun.
Okay, so this is King Solomon speaking here. When it says he returned, it means he returned from the spirit. The spiritual world that he was in, getting the understanding that he was getting. Okay, so he's returning back to his conscience now from the trance that he was in, getting this wisdom. Read on.
There is one alone, and there is not a second.
Okay, read that again.
There is one alone, and there is not a second.
Okay, so the Lord is letting us know now there's one alone and there's not a second. Nobody with that one. Just like what the Lord said when he created Adam. When he created man, he saw Adam was alone and he didn't have a second. Read on.
Yeah, he has neither child nor brother.
He has child nor brother. Read on.
Yet is there no end of all his labor.
But he still got to go out and work, right? Okay. Still going out to work, but he ain't got nobody to bring that work home to share that work with. Read on.
Neither is his eye satisfied with riches.
You see, and he got, like you said, people, you know, they got all the money in the world, but they ain't what? They ain't got nobody to share it with. So the Lord is letting you know, you can be one of them people that can be a workaholic. You working all your life. You just working yourself to the ground, and you ain't got nobody to come home to. You ain't got nobody to share all that wealth with. See? The Lord is letting you know that's all vanity. Read.
Neither saith he, for whom do I labor?
Go ahead.
And bereave my soul of good.
Okay, who am I laboring for? Who am I doing all this work for? Read on. It's like you got some idiots, you know, they make millions of dollars, and then when they die, what do? They got to give $12 million to a dog. Okay? Got to give $12 million to a dog. Why? Because they ain't got nobody else in their life to share that money with. Read.
This is also vanity.
The Lord letting you know that's vain. It's worthless. It has no value to it, no validity. Read.
Yeah, it is a sore travail.
See, it's a sore travail to see someone in a situation like that. Read on.
Two are better than one.
Read it again.
Two are better than one.
What the Lord say?
Two are better than one.
The Lord said two are better than one. So now, once again, that's why your love ain't good enough. Because if you're going around saying you don't need nobody, you're going totally against what God, the understanding of God. Because God said two are better than one. Read.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
Because they have a good reward for their labor. That go for all you single parents out there, okay? Look, you saying, well, you can do it on your own. No, the Lord say two are better than one. Read on.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
You see that? Because when you got somebody there with you, when you got a mate, when you have a husband, when you have a wife, okay, when you fall, when you get down, you got somebody to what? Help you get back up. Encourage you to keep on going. Read on.
But woe to him that is alone when he falls.
Read it again.
But woe to him that is alone.
Read it again.
But woe to him that is alone.
Read.
When he falleth.
You see that? The Lord say, woe to him that are alone when they fall, because you're going to fall by yourself. You ain't going to have nobody there to help you. And that's what a lot of people find out when they out there on their own. You go out there on your own and you fall and you realize what? You ain't got nobody to help you. Get back up. Read.
For he had not another to help him up.
There it is right there. You ain't got nobody to help you. Read.
Again, if two lie together, then they have heat.
You see that? What the Lord say?
Again, if two lie together, then they have heat.
And you know that. For those of you who do have husbands, those of you who do have wives, you know when you lie down together, you got some heat. You understand? Read.
But how can one be warm alone?
That's what the Lord is saying. How can one person get some heat by themselves? That's right. That's right. You be in them sheets shivering. Read on.
And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him.
You see, and if somebody coming up against you, then what? You got somebody that's got your back. You see, and that's, look, and that's what you need to be communicating. And these are the things you need to be communicating and talking about during the courtship. Are you going to have my back? You see, that's why a lot of women are hesitant to go ahead on and deal with a man, because they don't believe that man is going to have their back, and vice versa for a man. Well, you know, I do like that sister, but I don't believe she'll have my back when I need somebody back there. Okay, read on.
And a 3/4 cord is not quickly broken.
And a 3/4 cord is not quickly broken. It's going to be more difficult to break that cord that's 3/4 fold than if it's just a single cord by itself. Is that in verse 12?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's go to Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 22. Okay, so now we're getting some clear understanding that the Lord prefers and says it is best for a man not to be alone and to have a mate. Read.
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
You see, the Lord said if you find a wife, you find a good thing. Did he say a good thing? See, you know that's a black man talking right there. Read that again.
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
Findeth a good thing. Read.
And obtaineth favor of the Lord.
You see that? Now the Lord let you know that when he gives you a husband, when he gives you a wife, when you find someone, you know, when you find that one person, you be happy. You know you be happy. You be feeling good. You on cloud 9. Okay? Because that's a good thing. That's the Lord showing you favor. Is that the end of verse 22?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now give me Proverbs chapter 31. And let's read verse 10. And let's read on down to verse 12. Okay? Let's read that now.
Okay. Who can find a virtuous woman?
So the Lord is saying, who can find a virtuous woman? So it's letting you know what? You got to look to find one. So it's letting you know what? That's where that patience has to come in. Okay? Because that's what you want to find. A virtuous woman. So when you're in a courtship, that's the time, brothers, that's the time you need to be finding out, do you have a virtuous woman? The choice that you made, is it a virtuous choice? Okay? And how you going to find that out? Because in the Israelite Church of God, Jesus Christ, we have courtship rules in the church. 6 months to a year. Because in 6 months to a year, you're going to get to know that person. That's why we have that order. And the Lord is saying you need to what? Take time out to get to know somebody. See, a lot of people, you get too easy. You're too easy in courtships, or you're too easy when it comes to finding a mate. When you think you done found Mr. Right, and then 6 months later you find out he Mr. Wrong. Okay? Well, if you would have waited 6 months and went through a proper courtship, getting to know somebody, then you would have found out that they were a knucklehead, or they were a nigger, okay, or some dangerous person. Well, he's crazy. He's overprotective. Well, if you would have waited the proper amount of time, a year, then you would have found out all them things about how crazy their family was too. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. You better take the time out to go through a proper courtship, because you're going to find out in this class, this lesson right here, that you better know if they got some crazy brothers or sisters in that family that you're about to get involved with. Okay? Read on.
For her price is far above rubies.
Okay, so the Lord is letting you know when you do find that virtuous woman. And who are the virtuous women on the planet Earth? They are the Israelite women. The believing Israelite women that come back to the knowledge of God.